Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our November 2023 St. Paul Speaker Series. Our speaker today is Ms. Lauzi Chembe Mwamba, speaking from Lusaka. Just a little bit about, before I introduce Lauzi, a bit about this program. This program is organized by guys that, or alumni that went to St. Paul Secondary School, which is in Kabwe, Zambia. And we do this basically as a means to develop networks, a means to learn more information about what's going on, and just to understand intricacies of different policies, projects, financing options, and things like that, with the purpose of developing ourselves as men, as family men, and also developing the country. So ultimately, we want every Zambian to benefit from this information. So we do this every last Friday of every month. So this actually is going to be the last one for this year, because in December we take a break. So we'll come back in January. And about our speaker today, Ms. Lauzi Chembe Mwamba is started this project that she'll be talking about in Msekera. But her background has been in finance. She's done a lot of consultancies in education, and just a lot of private sector work. She worked for as head for mobile money and e-banking and marketing for EcoBank for quite a while, and then also as a product manager for MTN in the past, a product development specialist, and business systems analyst for Telecel and MTN, also in Zambia, and then Telecel when the cell phones were coming into Zambia. But her connection with me was way back in Barclays Bank when I was an intern at Barclays Bank in the personnel department. Lauzi and I worked together. Lauzi comes to us with an advanced diploma in business administration from the UK, and another advanced diploma in business information systems, also from the UK, a master's in business administration from Henry Watts University, and as professional associations, such as she's an associate member of Association of Business Executives. So with that introduction, please, Ms. Chembe Mwamba, go ahead and start your presentation.
Okay, good afternoon, gentlemen. I believe I'm the only lady. I am going to present to you basically our project. It's called Msekera Junction Investment Park. It's located in Chipata, just outside Chipata in the Eastern Province. We started this project. This project goes as far back as 2015, but Msekera Junction was registered in 2019. So let me just go through. I've done a bit of a presentation just to kind of give us a guidance on what's on the ground and some background on it as well. And please feel free to ask questions. I would like for this to be as interactive as possible. I think it makes it much easier for me, then my throat is not too dry from talking. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so just to introduce, our project is mixed-use development. It's sitting on 270 hectares of land. It's we are planning for 2 gated residential communities within the project, and this is in Chipata. So the first phase is going to be looking at about 333 houses, and then we have commercial units. We also have a location for a 100-hectare location for a solar PV plant. We also have a location for a biogas plant, and then we've also set it up in such a way that there's an agricultural trade and investment center as well. So basically, we're trying to make it as dynamic as possible, and also something that encourages collaboration between whoever is the tenants. We call them the tenants, whoever is going to be within that space. So this project was started by myself and my 2 sisters. That's myself, Lauzi Chembe, Kaluva Chembe, and my youngest sister, Susan. I'm sure you're asking, how did this come about? So it came about as we received quite a great inheritance from our grandfather, who left us the 270 hectares of land. And we were trying to think, what can we do with it? Initially, it was like, land in Chipata, we'll just sell it, you know? So we were actually ready to do that. But then, you know, when you're interacting with people, we met someone who was like, you know, you can actually make something really big out of this. So we worked with that person for a couple of years, and he helped us set it up as a mixed-use development. So it's taken quite a while, but it's taken a lot of work and it's very intricate. But from what we're seeing now, I think we were on the right track. So basically, our vision was for us to create a harmonious environment where people can live, work, and play. So if you look at just the way we've set it up with, it's got obviously a section where people will be working in the trade center and all that. And then we've also got recreational spaces. We've also got commercial spaces. So it just gives people an opportunity to actually step in and, you know, and be a part of the community. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You know, in Zambia, we're open. So anyone can come in and invest. So I will highlight some areas, and also hopefully you'll be able to see opportunities, but I just hope after this we can, you know, kind of interact and just showcase the opportunities that are coming on as we move along. Okay, so this is basically the location. I'm just trying to give you an idea of where it is in Chipata. So this is the CBD on the right. I hope you can see my arrow. That's the CBD, and then the green space here is where our location is. That's where Msekera Junction is. If you're driving into Chipata, I don't know if any of you have been to Chipata, but if you're driving into Chipata, it's very close to the district hospital and where the Welcome to Chipata sign is now. So it's at Msekera. I think you've heard of Msekera Research Center. So just there at the corner, actually, the road going to Msekera just goes right through our farm. So basically, that's where we're located. We have deliberately left it as green as it is. I think it's one of the places that has the most trees in Chipata. And this is just to just show how committed we are to ensuring that we are preserving the environment. And even with the development that we're doing, we're very strict in terms of cutting of trees, or, you know, anyone that cuts a tree has to plant another one. So basically that's where we're standing on. We're trying to encourage clean energy. So we're hoping we can actually utilize part. It's a very little part of the solar, but hopefully we can actually power up the development with solar. So that's what we're trying to work towards. And we also have some other technologies that we're exploring from China that will also allow us to achieve the renewable energy kind of power that we would like to have in there. We will obviously look at ZESCO, but that's just for backup purposes, but not so much for as a main source. Okay, so this is the layout of Msekera Junction. It has changed a bit. I just thought it would be good to share this one, though it has changed a little bit because we've just moved some things around. So this is basically how it is laid out. On the right here, you can see there's quite a number of, this is a housing project. So this is basically where we are starting with. We are starting with 333 houses on this side. And also, as we go along the road, that's where we've set up the Trade and Investment Center, the Agricultural Trade and Investment Center, and the commercial spaces as well. And if you can see at the back here, where there's the purple, that is where the solar plant will be. And it's very deliberate, it's strategic, because it's right next to Chipata West Substation. And that's the biggest one in the Eastern Province. So we're very lucky that we found ourselves in that space, and that's where we've decided to locate the solar plant. So this is what the trade and the Agricultural Trade and Commercial Center will look like. So basically, if you can see, I don't know, I know it's not very clear, but you can see a filling station. There's a logistics park, just different things, manufacturing plants, and all those. We've just deliberately just put them along the road because we feel that's what will increase the footprint into that space. We have been speaking to ZDA, and because of the size, they encouraged us to look at it as an industrial yard rather than an MFES because it's not as big. But it's a conversation that we're definitely having with ZDA. So it's you know how these government offices are, you have to keep going back, but that's where we're at. But definitely we are looking at getting that. We've had a lot of interest with most especially companies from Malawi. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of influx. There's a lot of questions coming in from companies from Malawi that are looking to invest in Chipata, a milling plant. We've had a milling plant. We've had another food manufacturer as well coming in, and some other organizations that are within Chipata that we're also looking at working with. So we've collaborated with Agrian. I don't know whether you've heard of Agrian, and Agrian is a farming networking company. So we are working with them, and we're trying to set up what we're calling this one, the Kadimba in-grower project. So Kadimba means Kadimba in my language means it's a garden. It's a small garden that is located next to a river, and you can farm all year round. So basically, what we're trying to do is, because we've got all this land, we're putting aside about 70 acres of land, and that land is going to be divided into small homesteads. We'll call them homesteads, basically, and they will be fully equipped with irrigation equipment, production facilities. They will have everything, power, everything, and then we'll also offer training. So what we're trying to do is to create an in-grower platform for people that do not have access to land. They don't have access to irrigation equipment and all these different things. So we're looking at bringing in those people and trying to get them to start growing. And what happens in this case is that we provide all the support that they need. And then at the end of it, we do a profit sharing. So that's basically what we're working on. So we are very actively working with a company called Agrian, and we are trying to push it as much as possible. So basically what we've done is we have started just trying to put the locations together, and obviously looking at how the land will be divided and cleared out. But this is something that we are definitely pushing, and it's very much a priority for us, considering we are in a space where agriculture is primary. So we want to actually showcase the location as an agricultural spot, a place where people can actually come and get the support. We did get funding for a feasibility study on the Agricultural Trade Center. We were lucky enough to get some funding from, at the time it was DFID, that's FCDO. And we got the support, and we got feasibility studies around all that. So just when we were getting into environmental impact assessment is when COVID came, and then that funding was pulled. But I'm happy to say that the feasibility did bring some very good results, and we are definitely going to leverage on those results and just to push the project forward. Please, if there's anyone who would like to just ask questions or maybe a bit more clarity, there's no problem. Okay, so the next.
I had a question about
Sure.
the Kadimba.
Yes.
So are these going to be like, are they going to be fenced off plots? And also will the support that you're offering, such as like agricultural inputs? Will it include plowing for people? In that case, then what is the role of the farmer or the in-grower?
So basically, what we're trying to do is to encourage the in-grower to grow throughout the year, to be able to grow throughout the year. That's what we're trying to. That's what we're encouraging.
Okay.
So basically, what we're trying to do is for people to have businesses within a business. It's kind of a commercial farm that is supported by a commercial. I mean, small farms that are supported by commercial farm. So it's kind of like pulling people out of subsistence farming into more looking at it more on a commercial space. Sorry, I'm going to stop sharing for a bit. Let me just make sure this is opening. I'm not sure what's happened here. I think it's the network because it's raining here, so it's quite crazy.
Yeah, not a problem. So yeah, I noticed we have a good crowd here today. So guys, if you don't mind, in the chat there, just put your penta and your house. So I'll start with myself, so we can know each other and network after this.
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna just speak from what I'm seeing here because I think it's a bit difficult for me to. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So basically, that's what we're looking at with Kadimba. There was a model that was created during the feasibility study for the trade center, and that's what we are going to follow as well. The in-grower project we first saw it with someone in Mozambique, and it seems to have worked quite well. So it's a model that we would like to try out in Zambia, and just to get people more interested in going commercial than just remaining subsistence farmers. I mean, Chipata, there are people I've known that have been working as subsistence farmers for all my life, basically. And so it's really just to say there's a space that you can come in, you can learn how to move yourself from where you are to a higher level. So basically that's what inspired the Kadimba project. Yeah. Okay, so then within the same space, because of the fact that we are going to have the housing and then we have a lot of farms around where we live. So basically there's a lot of agricultural waste and then also just the waste that's going to come from the housing. And we're not very far from the sewerage ponds from Eastern Water and sewerage as well. So we came up with the idea of having a biogas plant. The gas that goes to Chipata right now is coming from Lusaka. And obviously with transportation and everything, it's quite expensive. So we were thinking, why not, have something that is within the same space? And because our model is collaborative, we have formed a consortium with the company called Greenbelt Energy and another organization called World Organization for Governance and Competitiveness. So basically what we're trying to do is to create a model biogas plant, and see if this thing can actually work on a commercial basis. We've had funding for this as well. We've done a feasibility study and the numbers are looking good. We are currently working with another capital company right now to make us investor ready. So that's where we're at. So we've had some responses from outside, and we're hoping that we can push this to get it up and running as soon as possible. So then another part, this is the solar. I'm just showing a map of Msekera Junction as a whole. So this is basically, if you go around where there's the green here, This is Msekera, and then here, there's Msekera Junction. Sorry, I thought I was sharing.
No, no, you're not. Are you able to share again?
Let me just see if I can do that.
So as you're sharing, so is Msekera Junction, this is when you're approaching the city?
Yes.
At a hill like this?
Yes.
So you guys are on the left by the airport, I mean, the research turnoff?
At the research, yes, the research center, the road going to the research center is actually passing through our location.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to share. Okay, the screen had gone now. Okay. I'm not going to do it as a slide. It will just be off my screen so that at least you can have a look at it.
Okay.
Okay. I think you can see it now. Can you?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so basically this is the location, this is the Google location of Msekera Junction. And you can see for those that are very detailed, those are the coordinates there. So Msekera Junction is located on this green space. This is Chipata West substation. So we are right next door to Chipata West substation. And for us, we saw an advantage on this in that we hear transmission costs are very high. I'm saying we hear is because I don't have an expertise in solar energy, but I do know that transmission costs can be quite extremely high. And most people have had to pull power from one location to another. So for us, the fact that it was right next door, it kind of just automatically became one of our projects, and we do have the land for it. We have 100 hectares, but we can also stretch it up to about 130, 140. We've had quite a lot of responses. We've been speaking to 2 companies in South Africa that are pushing for it, and we do have about 3 or 4 others that have been connected to us through Kenya as well. So we've got some transaction advisors that are in Kenya that are working, for us to get someone to come and invest. So basically what we've done is, rather than just keeping the land as is, we did take the step, and we've got feasibility rights with the Ministry of Energy. And so for us, it's just to find the money to get someone to actually, step up and do the feasibility study. However, it doesn't mean that we are not trying to prepare for the money for ourselves as well. So it's kind of a two-way. Whatever comes first is what comes, because as far as we're concerned, we would like to get this thing moving as quickly as possible. And the market now is opening up much more for solar energy. So it's one of the areas that we're looking to push into. Right. Any questions? No. Okay.
I have a question here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Prof, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Danny here, calling from Canada. I'm hearing a lot of collaborative efforts with your project. I joined in a little bit late, but I'm wondering whether this project has phases, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and how are you prioritizing those tasks that are ahead of you?
Yeah. Okay, so what we're doing is, yes, we do have phases, definitely. After this solar, I was going to go into the first phase. Basically, what has happened is we've had some partnerships that have actually fallen through. Because the initial focus for us was to go into the residential housing. It seemed a much quicker, a much easier reach than anything else at the time. So what we've done is we've pushed the housing project ahead, because it's we do need to reach a point where we start getting some cash flow into the project. I mean, we've been on this for quite a long time, that we're putting in money, more and more and more money. And with the economy the way it is right now, it's important for us to start looking at bringing in the cash flow for us to, to be able to move the project forward. I mean, it is quite heavy on the pocket with the project this size. It is very heavy, and that's why for us we're looking at it more on the collaborative side, because we would like people to bring in investment if they want to. And to be honest, I think we're much more open to Zambians. If anyone in Zambia comes in and says, I've got this and I would like to be a part of this, and we're very much open to that, because I think as Zambians, we tend to shrink ourselves. We just want to do a small little project in the corner and that's all you do. But we're taking the bold step and saying, look, we've created a platform that people can come in and, and make whatever investments they want to make. And what we've done is whoever is interested, if you come in and you're interested in, let's say, a milling plant, if we're not interested in the milling plant, we will not bother you. All we'll say is, okay, fine. Either you're going to lease the land or you can buy it off us, whatever it is that you want to do. What we're trying to do is just to open up the platform. So for us, our first phase is going to be the housing, definitely, because for us, it's kind of a step that's much quicker. So we're looking at it, when I talk about housing, I'm talking about mostly serviced plots, because Zambians like self-building. So we do want to encourage self-building, but it doesn't mean that we are not going to build the houses. So as the fact that we're collaborating, we have already signed an agreement with a construction company that is actually going on ground now, trying to clear some spaces and start building some of the houses. So whoever wants to come in can come in and purchase a house, or they can buy more than one plot. The way we've done the layouts is in such a way that if someone wants to come and buy 10 plots at the same time, because they're looking to get into real estate, we've actually set it up in such a way that it allows for that as well. So basically, it's an open space for investment. I hope I've answered your question. And
good. I don't know if it's evening, looking at time zones. Malam Augustine Chalwe.
Yes.
I'm based in Bue, though for the meantime, I'm in Lusaka pursuing one or two things. I recall very well, I'm not sure whether it was you, but somebody did the presentation regarding this project during the Eastern Province Expo.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think one area of concern was what you've just raised, the issue of financing, because when you look at the economy and people's pockets then and now, it's even worse. Now, my suggestion would be for those that are in gainful employment and probably are high up on income, have you ever considered partnering with building societies? I think that's a question I raised then. And then secondly, are you aware that I don't know if you've got expertise on the biogas, but RIA is ready to help. As of now, it's decided to open biogas plants in all secondary schools nationwide. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, where the Eastern Province Expo, I was one of the people that was there. And yes, we did do a presentation. So what happened at that time was we did a presentation, and then we had a Zambian company come in, and they indicated that they wanted to purchase the location to start the housing. So that's what I'm saying. Some of the collaborations have fallen through, obviously. And so we were open to that, and we said, okay, fine, we would do a joint development. We'll have a joint development agreement, and you can come in with your finances and everything, and we'll, obviously come in with the land, and then we can do whatever sharing we need to do and everything. But it seems that our friends were not very ready in terms of finances at the time. So it's in order for us to save ourselves in terms of reputation, we needed to pull out of the project. So we kind of pulled out and re-strategized. So So what we're doing now is everything is organic. Whatever work we're doing on ground right now is money that is just coming from our own pockets. And we do believe that once the cash flow starts coming in, I think it's much more comfortable to be able to bring in some kind of financing because it is being seen as having a positive cash flow. So that's basically the stance that we've taken right now. Building society, yes, we had an MOU with Building Society. They're very responsive, so I can't say they're not. They're very responsive, and I know that it's something that we would like to revisit, but at the moment we still believe we're not ready yet. Once we get in, and we're on ground, and hopefully this is by March 2024. Once we're in and we're on ground, we are definitely visiting Building Society again. And then there's been some other financing houses that have actually approached us on the same as well.
I think there was a last part of the question. He was asking about the RIA and the biogas in secondary schools, and if you know about that, and if they could participate in your project.
No. It's the first time I'm hearing about RIA. Definitely, we will follow them up. We did get some support from AGS, and from AGS. So that's where we got the support from in terms of the feasibility study. And right now we are working with a company. Unfortunately, I can't actually say out who that is, but they're the ones that are now helping us to get ourselves more investor ready. And we've had some interest as well from some people in East Africa who would like to also come in and do some work. So what we're trying to do is to just put our paperwork together and then start working towards getting some people in. So I haven't heard about RIA, but I would definitely explore it and see what we can do with them. Any more questions? Okay. So let's go to, so the housing project that I talked about is called Elatini Park Residential Project. So basically what we have done is we've had to go through the process. At first I thought it was just a matter of laying out the plots and calling people, come and buy. But it wasn't like that. So we've had to go through the process of, getting approval from ZEMA as well. And there's an insistence of ensuring that we have water supply, we have sewerage systems, access roads and power. So that is another area that obviously there's a lot of money that needs to be invested. So where we are at the moment is we have been talking to some companies in South Africa. So what we're looking at is we're not looking at having sewer ponds. There's some tanks, sewer treatment tanks that this company is offering in South Africa, and we're quite advanced in our interaction with them. And this is what we feel is much more suitable for us in order for us to have it. And so basically the sewer system will be clustered, because of the size of the place. We just want to have them clustered and then linked from the same tanks into the biogas plant as well as the sewer ponds, because there's also there will be some waste that will still need to be taken down to the sewer ponds. And we're not very far from the ones that belong to Eastern Water in Chipata, actually. So that's basically, we've managed to clear most of that part, and we're just at a point where the council has to give us a go-ahead. So we've done the rezoning, we've done the layouts and everything. So we're now just at a point where we're just waiting for the council to give us a go ahead. So basically this is what we're calling phase one. It's a mini mixed use location, as you can see. So there's, I don't know whether you can see my arrow. There is this side, which is more medium cost. Initially, we had it as, we had three different levels. We had the low cost, medium cost, and high cost. And then we rethought and said, no, I think it's better that rather than having the place overpopulated, it's better that we just focus on the middle cost and the high cost places. So that's what we've done. If you've seen, this is right at the back, close to where the solar plant is where we have put the medium cost. And if you can see the layout, the way it's done, like I said, it allows for somebody to come and invest and say, I want to buy 10 plots and I want to build 10 houses and rent them out. So we would be able to do that rather than having them scattered everywhere. You can actually have your own location in that space. And then we have the front here. So these plots at the back are 900 square meters, all of them. So we've just put them from 900 square meters, nothing lower than that. And then the ones in the front, these ones vary, but they range between 1,200 square meters and 2,500 square meters. So basically, that's how we've done the layout. If you've seen, there's like a lot of parks here and there, and then some commercial spaces dotted within this location as well. So what we're trying to do is to just create like an inclusive community wherever we are. So it doesn't matter whether how small the location is, it has to have certain amenities within that space as well. So basically, that's what we're trying to encourage. Everything that we're doing is definitely collaborative, and it has to work in that way, because if you're going to just build a fraction of this, it has to have all the amenities so that people are not always leaving the place, but they're coming in more than leaving. So, so we have a mix of, the total number of houses here is 333, and we have a mix of 246 medium and 87 high cost plots. We have house plans that are there for people to actually select from. We prefer that any house plan that anyone is coming with has to be approved. So we have been working with the council. We've got an MOU with the Chipata City Council. We have been working with them to pre-approve the plans, so that if somebody is buying a plot, they don't have to worry about about having to go and get the plan approved and everything. So basically, that's what we're working with. And then we have a construction company within ourselves that will build the houses. We prefer that we have somebody that we can trust ourselves to ensure that the standard of the house is at a certain level. So that's basically what we're doing. We will be offering owner financing. So owner financing is, I think, what you've seen people are doing now, where they're offering plots on a payment plan. So we're looking at between 18 and 24 months, but for a plot, but nothing more than that. And then up to 5 years for a house. So that's basically what we're looking at. And the houses will be on a lease option. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll build the house, you lease it, but you're leasing it with the aim of actually eventually completely paying it off. So those are the terms and conditions that we're looking at. It's the first time we're doing it. We are hoping it works, but we are trying as much as possible to be accommodating, because we know that the economy is not easy right now and everyone is really, really struggling. So what we're trying to do is to create an entry level that is suitable for most people. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This ad is coming out soon, and that's about all. If there's any questions or suggestions or anything.
Well, this was an excellent presentation. That was very enjoyable, and looks like you guys are doing a lot of work. And I mean, I like the vision of it, and I think a lot of people are going to benefit. I have some questions, and I'm sure my colleagues are going to have some questions too. But before I ask my questions, I'd like to say thank you to the guys that made it to the chat, and hopefully you can ask some questions. I had a friend of mine that was in the he was in the Zoom, but I think he has bounced off. Yeah, he lives in Chpada half the time in Lusaka, but he's I think country director for Haifa, Zambia, so he knows a lot about that place. And I have some history with Msekera Junction. You know, when I used to work in Katete, I used to ride my motorbike to Chpada. And one time I was coming down the hill and I hit a pig on my motorbike and I fell on the tarmac and I was bruised everywhere. And guys coming behind me in a bus, I think it was a DCM those days, a slightly bigger minibus. They put me in the bus and put the bike in the bus, and that was my story with Msekera. But yeah, but yeah, just some questions. So on the solar farm, will this be feeding into ZESCO?
Yes.
Okay. So how does that work with ZESCO? And we have a ZESCO engineer here, Mr. Tsanga. Maybe he can also advise. But how does that work with ZESCO in terms of do they buy your power, or how does it work? Or you get credits?
So yeah, I'm sure you've heard of PPAs. I mean, we've been trying to get ZESCO to sign one with us. We can't say ZESCO, they have definitely responded to us. Because what they're saying is whatever you're doing, ensure that you have storage, because right now the capacity that they have has been exhausted. So, and they've opened up to being more collaborative in terms of us, as we're going through the process and going through the project, they would like, they're open for us to interact with them and so that they can guide us in the right way. So basically what kind of stalled us is really just getting to a point of signing an agreement with someone who can come in and say, we have $300,000. We will do the feasibility study and, we can then work together and move along. So that's basically what we're looking at. We've been talking, these things do take time. We've talked to so many people. The days you're waking up and you're like, okay, maybe I should just build houses on that place. Then you come back and you say, no, this is important. We can actually do it. The development itself needs power, but it's very minimal. The power that's required in here. We had an assessment done by someone very prominent, and they indicated that we would need something like 20 kV. So we don't need anything more than that. But if you're looking at a plant that is likely to produce something like 60 megawatts, you've got to take it somewhere. So that's why it's important for us to talk to ZESCO. It's important for us to talk to all these other companies that are coming up, and that's what we're doing basically. So yes.
And then the other question I had was on the biogas. What's the use for the biogas? Is it domestic use or is it industrial use or eventually going to producing oxygen? What's the plan?
So the biogas is we're mostly looking at cooking gas. It seems very ambitious, but we are also trying to pilot to see if we would be able to pilot piping gas to the development. But it's but we've also the first phase of the biogas plant would be to bottle the gas and distribute it within the Eastern Province. So basically that's what we're looking at. And then we're also looking at piping the gas, but then also we are also looking at going ahead and producing power hopefully we can have one industry that will say, you know what, I will take up this power because I need it, and we can have an off-taker within that as well. Yeah. So the biogas was inspired. I know Chipata is struggling a lot with waste management. And since we've been talking to the council, and there was a lot of back and forth with regards to waste management, we just opened up and said, look, why don't we just go ahead and get, have a biogas plant that can actually help with the waste management as well. So we've actually put aside a location of about 10 acres just to try, and then we are trying to get it to be, to sort out, have the gas, the waste sorted out, and then also processed as well. So hopefully those are things that we want to see if they will work, and we're definitely pushing it.
Yeah, please go ahead and ask some questions.
I have a question here.
Yes.
Regarding the housing, that is
Yes.
my personal interest. Do you have a roughly the number of people? The number of interest levels to say, okay, if we have this amount of, I think I heard you talk about the units in hundreds that you hope to build in that area. Do you have a rough number of people that are interested before the project can actually kick off? Because you must have a rough number to say, okay, if we have 50 people that have bought plots and ready to build, then we can start. Or how is the interest level showing at the moment? Because for somebody who, like me, who lives very far away, my worry is that I might be interested, and then I hear that I'm the only one that is interested in there, and the project keeps on postponing the actual starting date or something like that. So how is the interest from the public right now in terms of housing?
Okay, so our project is going to be the first gated community in Chipata. Actually, maybe the Eastern Province even. So we have a lot of interest. Yesterday I was literally just trying to tell people, okay, please take it easy. So what we had done is, when we did the expo, we had a lot of people come in and register. So we have a list of people that are actually up to now still asking when you're starting, and what are the costs and all those things. So we haven't released the cost yet, because we want to make sure, if I'm going to tell you that I'm going to sell you a serviced plot, it must be serviced. We don't want it to be half-baked, that it's not serviced. No, we don't have this, we don't have that. So basically, another thing that has kind of held us back is for us to just get the total cost of, the water treatment and sewerage. Water treatment, we have to work with Eastern Water. So that's another area that we're actually trying to push with Eastern Water. They've been very responsive as well, and they're very much interested. But while we're doing that, we also have to approach other people. So we've got a company, like I said, in South Africa, that is stepping up and saying, okay, yes, let's come in and see how we can work together to be able to get this moving. You definitely will not be the only one. I can tell you that, I can assure you. We have over 150 people on the list right now. And we do have clusters, groups of people, whether it's in the civil service, whether it's in just private companies within, not just in Chipata, but also in Lusaka. Chipatans, we do like to go home. So there's always someone who wants to build a house at home as well. So definitely you will not be the only one.
If I may come in again.
Sorry,
Yes.
just to follow up on that one. So when things are ready to kick off, will the general public be sort of informed? Will there be a countrywide announcement or something? How can somebody like me who is out here in Canada know that this thing is taking off now?
So you wouldn't have to worry about that. First of all, the first person I'm going to tell is Mutsonda. So he's definitely going to announce it. We do have a Facebook page. It's called Elatini Park. You can look at it and you can actually just, you can follow the page. If you follow the page, that's the first place that we are actually doing all the different announcements, just talking about Elatini, trying to explain what it is, and then all the different offers that will be coming through. Definitely the opening offers will be much lower prices because we do want to get in as many people as we possibly can. So you will definitely get to know about it. And yes, the launch is going to be loud. Is someone else wanted to ask?
Yes, as one of the organizers of the expo, I think the question that has just been asked is one of the questions that were being asked by people, in that we were eager to know the launch date, but as usual, the COVID and other things came in. Otherwise, I think what I wanted to ask my colleague has just asked.
Okay, all right. So what we've been trying to do is to get the access roads opened. I mean, we know people are very eager. We've been talking about this project for quite a while. We were obviously thrown off because of COVID and all that, but we are back and we're definitely going to go ahead and do it. So as I'm speaking, my husband is in Chipata trying to get some of the access roads opened, so that when what we don't want is to talk about a location, but people can't actually go in and see. So we have to make sure that we have, it's opened up enough that someone can actually drive in, walk in. If you want to do a hike, because there's even a hill right there, you can do a hike. Some of the houses will be on top of the hill with a beautiful view. So what we're definitely trying to do is to try and open it up as much as possible. So we've requested the man to go and see what he can do with the roads. And so hopefully we can try and open up as early as possible. If the location is passable and we're able to put in the beacon, so what we're doing is we're beaconing the place. We're going to ensure that each plot has a title deed. Every plot is going to have a title deed. We know Chipata with some of the plots are not titled. So we want to make sure that when a person comes, yes, the title deed will still be in our name, but it will definitely be allocated to their location. When they finish making the payments and everything, it will be immediately transferred to them as well. So the whole of this place is fully titled and it is rezoned. It's not a farm, it's not a farmland, but it is a mixed use location.
So Lauzi, can you talk a bit about the interconnections with what's that corridor? You know, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique.
The Nakala corridor.
Yes. How's that going, and how does your big development actually factor into that?
Well, I mean, what inspired the Agricultural Trade Center was the Nakala corridor. I mean, it was something that we focused on when we were actually thinking about the whole development, basically. So what we were trying to do is, I mean, the from Chipata to the port of Nakala is slightly shorter than actually Dar es Salaam. So, you know, we were trying to it's something that we're trying to look at and say we can also have a place where people can say, oh, look, I'm going to get my car through Chipata, or I'll get my goods through Chipata. And because of the trade center will have multiple warehousing. So even their storage spaces and all those different things, all that was actually inspired by the fact that we have the rail line. I know it's not being used that much. I've visited several times and it's a very sorry sight right now. But I think it can only be active if we make it active. So it's really, I think at the end of the day, as Zambians, we can always talk about how bad things are, or this is not working, this is not working. If we're not doing something ourselves, it will not work. So that's why we got inspired and say, why can't we have a hub that will be busy enough to get the rail line moving and to get the Nakala port much more of a place that where we are always going and trading from there. So
there's also a document on the SADC protocol on communication with specific reference to land. I think try to have a look at that because the issue of warehousing that you've raised is one of them. When I was with the Zambia airports, when we were trying to look at expansion of four international airport, that was part of the document that we're using to come up with a blueprint, which would later come up into the final copy. But I would suggest to go through the SADC protocol on communication with specific reference to land communication, land transportation, sorry.
Great, thank you so much for that. I will note it down and take it up. Okay, any more questions?
Oh, wow. Any more questions, gentlemen? Okay, so I had a last question about the Kandimbas, going back to the same.
Yes.
So I see that people just have to come and work there. They don't live there. Is that how you envision this?
Yes, well, what we're trying to make it, we want to make it as a working space. They will be, I mean, we will have obviously accommodation, but it's not families.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not families. I mean, if anyone wants to be close by and they want to have somewhere where they can farm and everything, they can buy a house and be able to, to go to their plot of land and location. So we're trying to discourage as much as possible families living there, but it will be a working space because the reason we're trying to stop that is because we're not expecting people to live there for 10 years. Basically, we will sign agreements with them for between 3 to 5 years, but beyond that, they cannot stay there any longer.
So somebody posted in the chat that you could also look at a place called Kavitaka Housing Project in Lauzi. That's next to FKM.
Okay.
Near the mines. I think they have a similar concept. On the owner financing, is this where you build the house? You said you build the house and then somebody just leases it, like rent to own?
Yes.
What terms are you looking at?
I don't understand.
Is it like for 10 years or 15 or 30-year mortgage or how?
5 years.
5, okay, perfect. Cool. So gentlemen, anybody else has some questions? We've exhausted the 1 hour. It goes by very quickly, this 1 hour, believe me.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Fine. If somebody is visiting Zambia right now and wants to see the place, are you still waiting for the feeder roads you said, or somebody can just pass by the junction you're talking about and see it from the road? Oh.
Yes, very much so. We do have someone there. I mean, the intention for us is to eventually relocate to the location itself. That's definite. I mean, our children have finished their schools and they're getting settled. So we would like to actually move there and just be in that space. So, but right now, if you want to visit, there's usually someone, we've got our land administrator who's always in Chipata. So if you are around and you want to visit, like right now, this weekend, my husband is also there as well. So it's just a matter of arranging. He's there until Tuesday. So it's just a matter of arranging with him and then he can just take you around to just see the ground itself if you want to.
It sounds to be a very nice project. I'm trying to come home with some friends of mine here in Canada that wants to invest in Africa. So that's what I'm asking. Is it ready for showcasing to? I don't want to bring my two friends and then they say, "Oh, Danny, that is still not, so it's not yet ready."
Yeah, so when exactly would you be looking at coming in?
Coming for Christmas from 17th of December.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, if you say 17th of December, it would really be, you can visit the place. I mean, you'll be able to look around and see the place, but we don't have a lot of access roads. We do have one main access road that goes in. So you'll be able to see, I mean, you can see part of it. You can go around to the back to see where the substation is, but you have a general idea. And another thing is, it's very, when the rains come, I don't know if you would be able to walk through because it's very thick in terms of trees and everything. So it's a well-preserved location in Chipata. But it doesn't mean that you can't go and see that, okay, the land that she's talking about is actually here. Because people have been selling dreams in the air, but we want to show you that it's actually there.
Okay. That sounds good.
Awesome. Any more questions, gentlemen? Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna ask Jason just joined here, is another Chipata person. Professor, you of course is your friend. Maybe he's gonna have a last question. So Lauzi, have you thought about getting carbon credits for your forest?
Yes, but we've never actively just pushed for it. I think it's important that we actually look at that. So definitely, I haven't, to be honest, I just didn't pay attention on how that is done. I'll actually try and research and find out how it's all done.
Okay. Yeah. So through the Ministry of Green Economy, the minister is one of us. He shows up in these meetings too. He went to the same school as us.
Okay.
Yeah, they are really pushing that, and I think it would be a good resource. Yeah. There's a question from Mr. Lumbama. Go ahead, Onward.
It's not really a question, but having worked for a real estate companies, I think it's a very big vision. But one worrying thing that I always no, we should because
I don't know if you can hear his question. I
as
cannot.
African,
It's breaking. I think he might have to.
Visions that, or let me just type it and then I'll.
Okay, please. I think that would be easier.
Hello, Malam again. I think for
Yes.
carbon credit, there should be a biocarbon project office in Chipata and Fue. So I think they can be visited.
Okay, all right. We'll definitely follow it. I think it's important for us.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea, Madam. And I think just joining in here is Miss Catherine Zulu. She's a provincial forestry officer for Lusaka. She can also answer that question about carbon credits. But I know when I was there in Zambia in June, that was a big thing that even some banks, some banks were willing to partner with people that have farms or just like any sizable amount of land with trees and start channeling carbon credits through that. So yeah, that could be another source of income.
No, definitely. I'll definitely follow it up and take a look. I mean, we've struggled a lot, ever since this CDF has been introduced and people are making desks, we are literally arresting people every day from stealing trees in that place.
Oh.
So it's been quite a circus, really. And that's a reason why husband had to go to Chipata to just try and see how we can secure the place as well.
Cool. Any more questions? Oh, I think Ona just said you're gonna type. Let me see. Yeah, his question hasn't come in.
It's coming soon.
Oh, it's coming? Okay. Okay. Anybody else with questions, gentlemen? Okay. What about schools? I noticed with 333 homes there, that's a good 2,000 people that end up there. If every family still has 6 people in it, where are the kids gonna go to school? Lauzi, did you hear my question?
She's on mute.
Oh, she's on mute. Okay.
I've heard. So where we have the Agro Trade Center, there is a location for a school.
Okay.
This is another opportunity for investment. So we've got a location here. I think you can see here. Or just on top where there's the big square part. There's a location for a school, and then there's a location for a center of excellence as well. So we've got quite a large location. It's about 10 hectares, 10 acres, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also option to expand and have a much larger space. So we are looking for someone who can actually come in and set up a school. Unfortunately, we don't have private schools very close by. We just have, obviously, we've got the government schools, Msekera Primary School, and then the St. Monica's just up the road.
Oh.
But it would be good to have a private school as well. So it's open for investment. If you guys want to get together and make a school, here you are.
Wonderful.
Professor.
Yes.
Malam again. I'm
Yes.
the one who posted the Kavitaka Housing Community Housing Project. It's
Mm-hmm.
equally a gated community. The houses are strictly for minors and they are rent to own. So I think with this kind of a project, I would also suggest just for maybe having inside information or maybe other plans they can think of. I think it would be worthwhile to visit the facility through the housing estate committee.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and sorry for just budging in. I don't know, the icon for lifting my hand is not here.
Oh, I see. No, this is perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, you're not going to be booked here, Mr. Malama.
Thank you.
Cool. So any more questions? Even for people that joined late, Chalo, you can ask a question. We missed you today.
Yeah, apologies. I had 50,000 people at my house yesterday, and so I just woke up actually. So I hope everyone is doing well.
Well, okay, Mdela, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, same to you.
Yeah. Okay. So since there are no more questions, we can actually wrap up this meeting. And
Professor.
Yes, please go ahead.
Professor, I don't know if I'm clear now.
You're clear. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I clear now?
Yes, you're clear. You're clear.
Okay, I was wondering because they seem to be very loaded with these visions that they have. But unfortunately, I think as Africans, it's very rare that we transfer what we have. Apart from the people from the Middle East, the Indians and the others who carry on the visions of the parents, even if they are to change, but basically they will go on. So these people seem to be very loaded, but I'm wondering if they have a few of their children who attend meetings when they are doing, or who are able to read their notes with whatever they have.
That's an important question there, Lauzi. Yeah, what's the plan for the future?
Definitely. I mean, we have two kids. We've got our son. He's actually in here right now. He can hear he can hear the conversation. He's very much interested. He's very much aware of the project. He's in software. He's a software engineer. So, I mean, what he's also looking at is looking at how we can leverage on technology. We are working on several apps that will help us with the process as well. So those are things that you will get to know about. Then we also have a daughter. Our daughter is in the built environment. She's studying interior architecture. And she's actually the one that has done some of the layouts that you've actually seen. So she's definitely in. Then my sister also has her kids, and then we also have our nieces and nephews who've also been interested in this. So definitely, we are pushing the vision. They are aware of what is happening, and we are hoping that it's something that they can carry forward. So what we're doing is, this is a big project. It's not something that we can completely finish in our lifetime. So what we're doing is just creating the platform for them to be able to push the vision forward, and we hope that they can expand it rather than just focusing on just one location. Have I answered your question?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. That was, I've seen a lot. I worked for a real estate company for some time, and immediately the owners died. They started selling off.
Yeah.
And others have ended up in the streets, and you start wondering how. So I think vision needs to be carried on. Thank you.
Definitely. Okay.
If I may ask a follow-up question, I'm sorry I joined you late, but I think with that question that Onward brought up, it would be good to know what the governance structure is for the entity that you've set up to manage this, so that in the same light, your clients are assured of continuance of the vision, in the sense that there is a level of independent governance that would continue with what it's doing regardless.
Yeah. I mean, right now we've still placed ourselves in the project phase. I mean, we're very much, what we've done is we are all three of us are very much involved in what is going on and in the setup and everything. We have, what we're doing is mostly working with independent contractors at the moment, because we just want to reach a point where we have certain organizations that are lined up. So like, if you talk about the housing, we do have several real estate companies that are going to come in and they would do the sales and everything. And the reason is because at the moment we are running a bit thin in terms of resources. So what we're trying to do to build the resources and then set up the structure. So the way is set up, initially it was set up as property developments, but we've then broken it down into different components, because if you look at the way the project is set up, it has different components. So we would like to have different structures in all the different components and people handling all those different areas, because we don't want to spread ourselves too thin. Though we will have, I mean, Msekera Junction Investment Park itself is now the holding company. And then as we're going along, we've got a Latini Park, which is now the housing aspect of it. So we're breaking it down, but not breaking it down to an extent where we lose focus of the vision. No, definitely not. I don't know whether that kind of gives you an idea.
The shareholding of the holding companies, are you saying that that's currently held by the three of you? Which is fine, but then okay, let me retract that. But it's worth interrogating. But you also have a board that constitutes independent board members as well.
Yes.
Within the holding company.
Yes. So what we do have, we have three shareholders basically that own the location equally, and then we have a board that includes. We've also got our legal person in there. We've got our legal person. We've got our land administrator, and then two of us are married, so both our husbands are on the board as well. Just to have a wider perspective in terms of decision making and all that. So definitely we have brought in other people, though we've kind of kept it small for now, but it's not something that we're not looking at expanding. Obviously, the children automatically, as they reach certain ages, will come in and be part of the decision, because we want to make sure that they're bought into the vision and they are part of what is happening within them.
All right, so you've got a board of 7 with four who are family, or 6 with 4 who are family.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we're saying we are collaborative. If you come in and say, I would like to invest in the agricultural trade and commercial center, that automatically puts you part of the shareholding of that aspect as well. So for us, we do want to bring in people, but we also want people who are coming with something. You know, it's very difficult to just have people coming in and they are not really contributing anything. So we're very much.
I agree with you. I'm not expecting you to give me a shareholding or a board seat when I brought nothing to the place. My consideration is that with your current, the shareholding and the board are two different things. But I now recognize that your board immediately stakes everything in favor of the two sides, because you've got two people involved with their spouses on the board. The other two are never ever going to win a vote against the 4 of you. So those are the considerations I'm making. Thank you.
You'll be very surprised that you will find that I am on one side, my husband is on the other side. We are not, it doesn't work like that. It's not, we are very open in being on opposite sides. It's not I think it's important. Remember that it's also for the interest of the business.
For now, yes.
We try as much as possible. We do want to bring in other people. Pardon?
I'm not saying it's wrong, please. I'm not saying it's wrong. So please don't feel judged by it. I'm just making my considerations. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was a nice contribution there. I'm just going to ask somebody else who joined in towards the end here. Ms. Catherine Zulu, she's a provincial forestry officer for Lusaka. I wanted to ask you, Ms. Zulu, we had a question about carbon credits and how people like our guests that have a big land with trees on it, how they can participate in that and get money from somewhere for their carbon credit. Ms. Zulu, are you able to answer that one? Oh, I think she dropped off. Okay. Okay, anyways, I think we are done here with the questions. I'll just say that this was a very informative presentation, and we really appreciate. So on behalf of St. Paul Secondary School in Kabwe and the alumni, we'd like to say thank you very much to you, Lauzi, and we really wish you luck with the project that you're doing. So I started by telling you what the vision is for this group and what we do. Our school has a motto that says, it's in Latin, but it says Labor Omnia Vincit, which means, or stands for work conquers all, you know?
Yeah.
And I think in answering what some of Simonza's questions, you've really said that, or Honor's questions, you've said that you're going to put in the work, you're going to move over there, and you know, your husband is there right now managing the project, so you're really working hard. And that is the motto that we go by, you know, as guys from our secondary school, just trying to work really hard for ourselves and for our families and for our community as well as the country. So we really thank you for that. Your vision is broad, but please don't give up. And Professor Leswaneso asked at the very onset about phases. Phases are important. So as long as you can, you know, monetize each phase and keep going, I think you'll be fine. I'm happy that you're open to more people coming in as investors, advisors, or whatever. And we shall share your contacts with our wider alumni group so people can actually reach you and ask more direct questions, especially those that are in Chipata and want to build a house there. The owner financing was really important because if you can build me a house, I put it on rent with some of those peers and banders, you know, I'll make money. So that was a great idea. Yeah, so just from the bottom of my heart, and you're a friend of mine, so I'd like to say thank you so much, and just wishing you and your family Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. I would like to say thank you to everyone. I mean, I haven't talked about this project in the last year. I think it's just been burying my head in the work, you know, driving between Lusaka and Chipata every now and then, and just trying to get things moving. But just being able to actually talk about it, it's brought new life, you know, to me as well. I'm more motivated to actually sit and talk to, you know, a group of very well-educated men and women, and you know, and just be able to just articulate our vision and what we're trying to do. And just remember, if you have any questions at all, you can ask anything. You can call. I mean, so I can share my number. I don't have any problems with people having my number and my email address just to ask questions, or if you are interested in any part of the project at all, please feel free. This is Zambia. We are all Zambians. It doesn't matter where you're coming from or who you are. I think we don't really look at who the person is whatever we can learn from other people. We're very open.
Thank you so much. So seeing that there's no other questions, we're going to call the meeting closed and adjourned. Gentlemen, our next meeting is going to be in January because in December we do not have that last Friday that we can have a meeting at, because the last Friday in December is 29th, and that will be New Year's and Friday in Jakarta issues. So it will take a break for December and then come back in January. So yeah, thanks so much everybody for coming, and have a good weekend. And Lauzi, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're most welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.